Well, that's kind of shocking all that worked. All right, sweet. Well, note to self, even though it's the winter time here in Texas, it's a 70-degree day here Fahrenheit-wise, probably, I don't know, what, 30, probably 26 Celsius or whatever it is. It's just, walked in, everything was like crazy hot, and none of my inputs worked, both audio and video, so sorry for 2-minute late start. That's okay, though. Today, we will be jumping right into Windows 11. We are going to do an ISO install of Windows 11, just real basic. And then we're going to run the debloat utility, see how it fares in Windows 11, just to kind of see what's Microsoft's done, what works, what doesn't work. Most of it should still work, as the underlying system really hasn't changed too much. So that should be pretty good. Swear this microphone. All right, it like sags ever so. Oh well. Let's get on the desktop here and get right into it. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day. Oh man, good morning, Michael. Everybody else in attendance. I'm in Dallas Fort Worth is the part of Texas I'm in. Feeling a little under the weather today, so little bit of everything going on. But you know what? Couldn't ask for anything better, because heck, we got everything up and going pretty much on time. I thought it was gonna be like a cancellation almost. You should name it 10-11 to not scare people around. Well, I just want to just name it Windows debloat, or Windows utility, so it can do 10 and 11. But I've also seen a lot of variants of it. A lot of people are actually taking it, forking it, and doing other stuff with it. A lot of people ask for an executable. If we have time today, maybe I just show like a PS2 to exe module and PowerShell to how to create executables on the fly that are really easy, so you don't have to necessarily run a live script through the interwebs. Some people have asked for that, but I might eventually put it up on my website as a way to like fund the project, but I'll show you how I do it and everything on this stream. So if you want an executable today, well, you just take the open source script, run one PS2 to exe command, and voila, an executable. It's not difficult, so don't think creating an executable is hard at all. So with that, let's see what we got here. It's gonna be like Windows 11 LTC, I guess, maybe. We'll see. All right, let's get on the desktop. Pull down old screen here. No messing around today. We're gonna just jump right into it. Alrighty. First off, let's create our Windows 11 VM fresh. So this would be like a fresh Windows install. We'll browse. I think I have it all in the images already pre-downloaded. You can just go download Windows 11, download the official ISO from Microsoft if you like. That looks like it. We're just gonna go forward. We're gonna go 6 cores. I don't know, 12, 128. I don't know it's not the right amount of memory, but whatever. 40 gigs, sure. It's going to be Windows 11. Let's just create that guy up. Oh, wait. I think on Windows 11, we got to change some stuff because it will fail. As we got to emulate TPM and some other stuff. We'll get that going. Oh, let's see. Notice one thing here. Got a little bit on that side. Let's just amp that up just a hair. All right, there we go. Windows 10, 11 Home, I just can't do. All the Windows Home editions, I think, are just absolute garbage. Yeah, I figured that would happen. All right, well, that's not a problem. Let's just add a TPM chip in here. TPM 2.0, finish. Also, I think we need to change, yeah, all right, we'll just delete this guy. We'll delete the, nope, don't delete the image. All right, we'll recreate it. Made it incorrectly. Doing Windows 11 is just, I haven't done a lot of them, mainly just because I don't really particularly think Windows 11's ready for prime time yet. But if you want to be a guinea pig, by all means, you can sign up for it. People that think it's like more secure are the ones that drive me crazy. I'm like, learn something about a computer, would you? All right, Windows 11, and we're gonna customize this time around. We're gonna add that TPM hardware that apparently it needs. We're also gonna be going into, oh, where are you at? Overview maybe? Yeah. There it is. Switch that out to UEFI. We'll just go there with that. I think that should do it because, yeah. I don't think I actually need to change the chipset, but I think it should be fine either way. No, I'm curious. I don't think I've done that top option before. Let's try that out. All right, that did not work. All right, let's apply that. Nope. All right, I'm pretty sure that one should go. No. All right, let's read an error message actually before just clicking through it. Unable to complete install, unable to find SWP. Oh, my bad. Let's just do a apps list grep SW. What was it? SWT PM? I can't remember. All right. Here it is. Let's just move some of this stuff out of the way. SWT PM. All right. Let's install SWTPM then. Can't remember if this is the library. It might not be what we need, but we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. Yeah, you can use that on that. It's no problem. All right, this thing is driving me crazy. All right, that's maybe a little better. We'll see if that falls. Better not fall anymore, Mike. Yeah, this is basically secure boot. I mean, I'm just kind of having a no-nonsense kind of day today. A lot of Windows 11 questions makes me want to smash my head against the wall. Fix missing. Did I miss something here? I still got that in the way. Let's do an update. Huh. Oh, never mind. I'm using a proxy. My bad. I think I stopped my proxy server. I keep forgetting about that. All right, let's just go 8001. Yeah, but yeah, we can cheese the TPM requirements and stuff. We don't really need that. I think I had a container. Yeah. There it is. All right, we're back in business. I did that. All right, let's try that one more time, shall we? Shouldn't have any errors this time around. Perfect. Now let's install that package, shall we? Perfect. All right, and now let's just go begin install. It's probably not gonna. Let's just quit out. Virtual Machine Manager, and let's just check just to make sure here. SWTPM install Debian. Just to what SWTPM does is it basically allows us to emulate TPM. so we can install Windows 11. And does that have anything in it? Oops. Snap Store. Come on, who has the Debian package? Yeah, we'll get this installed and then be able to launch Windows 11. Or, I mean, worst case, if this gives me too much of a headache, I'll probably just reboot into the... I dual boot Windows 11 on this PC. It's been a minute since I booted into it though, so it's probably got a lot of updates. What do we have? All right, let's see. Maybe they just have a deb file. No, of course not. I don't want to build this. All right, we're just... Yeah, fine. Forget it. We're just reboot into the dual boot. I don't feel like messing with that today. I've done it in the past, but again, a little under the weather this morning, so let's not make my life too difficult. I'd like to have a somewhat successful stream. All right. I think, let's see. I can't remember. I think my grub was broken too. I was doing something. So we're just going to boot directly into Windows. I still have that shotgun mic. I still like the shotgun mic. You know? All right, this is a dev build. How far behind are we on the updates on this guy? I think we're a good bit behind. All right. Let's see. Windows updates. Can I still change my program? Yeah, so I have to reinstall this eventually. Oh well. Let's install now, shall we? We're gonna move to preview build 22518 on this one. Let me switch this out. Get overlay. Yeah, I probably need to do an update too. If you like, a lot of people criticize my tool on Wingate, which is fine. But why I like Wingate a lot is just you can do a Wingate upgrade -- all like that, and then it just grabs every installed program and then upgrades it for you. So I'm obviously going to do that since we're going ahead and upgrading the operating system too. And again, I don't remember the last time I was in here. So we got quite a few things it's going to upgrade. It's going to go upgrade IPFS, which is Interplanetary File System. Kind of reminds me of that Beastie Boys song. Interplanetary. Treasure Suite from Satoshi Labs. That's my hardware key for the cryptos. AutoHotkey, Discord, FileZilla, GIMP. Yeah, we got quite a bit. So I'll just let this run in the background while we're also downloading some updates as well. We'll download those now. Oh, yeah. Bulldog. Like, as far as making mistakes, I always say, got to make mistakes to learn. Nobody learns by getting everything right. Oh, yeah, Refind is amazing instead of Grub. I find it particularly good if you're going to do a tri-boot system, where if you got like a Mac, Windows, and Linux all on the same box, and you want to do triple boot, Refind, I find, is the best for compatibility. Should be about a 1/2 inch too high. All right, well, let's Yeah. Let's move that down, right? All right, you say about 1/2 inch. Yeah. Come on. Just. Oh, yep, it's all the way at the end. And 1/2 inch. There you go. That should be about 1/2 inch. I'm not sold on this pop filter. It's kind of a pain. The clamp on it kind of sucks. It still has quite a bit of play to it. Oh well, it's fine. Go get coffee. Yeah, nah, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, man. I'm just not feeling good. Probably running a little bit of a fever. So things are going to be a little disjointed. Should I update to Windows 11? If you have to ask, the answer is no. I only do Windows 11 to make videos. I do not recommend people to go to Windows 11. Give it another 6 months. You know, that's what I always say. Usually, at least wait about a year after release. It's just going to serve you so much better on that. Yeah, so like here, I'm running a development build on the Insider program. I don't recommend dev builds because it is like the bleeding edge. But since Windows 11's so broken out of the box, I would say running a dev build is pretty good for at least the first couple months. And then usually you go to like a beta and then go to a stable version after about 6 months, I'd say. You usually run into it. So it's getting better. It's getting a lot better. Because, I mean, we're coming up on 6 months, so you could probably install the stable version of Windows 11 and run into just minimal bugs, not nearly what we ran into around launch. So it's getting close. Like, if you really like, the big thing why I'd say upgrade to Windows 11 would be if you love this aesthetic. Because I personally, when it comes to the aesthetic of Windows 11, I think it's a leaps and bounds better than Windows 10. And while functionally, I think it's exact same. Like, I noticed no difference really between Windows 10 and Windows 11. Windows 11 is just a little more unstable because you got like UWP is the taskbar down here. Some little weird things. But offset, the things I do like about Windows 11 is no more PowerShell, no more command prompt. Everything runs through Windows Terminal. I think that's a massive leap forward. I hated those old terminals. So Windows Terminal's much better. Start menu, also much better. The old start menu I hated from Windows 10. So I like these. I really like these aesthetics. But if you don't like those aesthetics and you're just going to change it to look like Windows 10, don't upgrade. Like, you get nothing. There's no point. But we're going to see what the new preview build here is. I haven't booted into Windows 11 in probably a month or two. Something like that. Or at least this version of Windows 11. I have it on my... Oh, you know what? I don't think I have Windows 11 anywhere else. I think most of those got wiped out. I think I have it on like an old disk somewhere just to tinker around with. But if I'm not making a YouTube video about Windows 11, typically, I don't like running it. Although, you know, I think I might change that. I think I'll go ahead and probably do it on one of my systems. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like groundbreaking bugs now. I think the biggest one was when it released, the biggest bug with Windows 11 was specifically for Ryzen AMD users, but all that's been patched out now. You don't run into the performance hits that you had on launch. Yeah, Winget, my script will actually do that. If you never run the script, it's actually probably my most popular YouTube video. You could just type debloat Windows 10. I think, what do we got? Just debloat Windows is what it is now. I need to redo some of this. I'm about to do it, but basically what the script does is you just take this, open up terminal with PowerShell, paste it in there. This downloads the PS1 script directly from GitHub. Now, some people are like, what's happening in the background? Let me break that down too for folks. But here's the actual script itself, because I usually disable Action Center. I kind of like to show all my tray icons. I usually do dark mode with like performance VFX. A lot of people, I constantly get emails about people having problems. I can't launch this after running this script. And I'm like, usually that's in relation to disabling background apps, which I don't actually recommend, but it does give a good performance uplift. Delete and disable OneDrive. That also can cause some issues. And disabling Cortana or search, which frankly, I like to do. So, to each his own. Yeah, I'm sure they'll bring back weather on the taskbar. It's just only a matter of time. All right, let's see what we got. So this right here, I'm going to just show why we're waiting on some other stuff. Let's just exit it. If you actually open this, like we can just do a control click. This is just it's just a short key. Basically, if you ever use like bit.ly or goo.gl to shorten it up, all we're doing is just grabbing this file right here. So we can actually download this directly if we like. We can do a control S to save this file or whatever we want to do. I'm going to just use Windows Terminal. So what we'll do is just do an invoke web request. And then usually I just pop that guy right in here. Oops. Usually went in deblow.ps1, I think. ls, did that download it? Oh, maybe it didn't. Oh, well. Oh, forget. Running low on that, and we'll just go all files. Why not? Where's that at? Oh boy, I put it in not a great spot. Let's fix that. We'll just put it in drive D. We'll make an executable while we wait on these updates. So to do an executable out of a script, let's just change to the D drive. And there's our debloat script. We're going to change that. Now, we could always just run that script like win10 debloat like this. And this would run the script without doing any of the workarounds I did through that. Now, for whatever reason, it's not. So we could set the execution policy to unrestricted. And then do win10 debloat, run once. And then that's how you'd run it offline. But obviously, we don't want people to do that, and setting execution policies not recommended, because then a whole bunch of different ways that could go awry. But that's the gist of running a PS1 script offline. That's not signed or anything like that. But what we need to do is make an executable. I think it's import module name, and then I want to say it's PS2 exe is the module name. And then we can just go PS2 exe. I think that will work. Is there a dash help? I think, nope. Oh man, I can't remember. Let me look it up. PS2 exe. Let's see here. Import module. Invoke -PS2 or PS2 exe source. Okay. So it should be pretty easy. I think we will use the invoke method though. So we'll just take that. Copy. Where am I? This is PowerShell, right? All right, and then we go win10 debloat, and then we'll do an exit to win10 debloat.exe. Did that work? Oh, really? I guess not. Might have been the backslash that killed us. I don't know why the tab completion in Windows is so jank, but you know, it's one of them things. And that didn't work. We could also try the graphic element win PS2. If it was Linux, it'd probably work. I don't know if that's actually installed. I have Simple Wall. I remember making a video about that. That's something different though. Oh, it is backslash. I'm mixing and matching. That's what's up. All right. Microsoft works backwards, so it uses backslash. The rest of the world works forward. And no, still no bueno. Well then. All right. Plan B. We'll go to the executable version of this. I think it's PS2 exe. And of course, in typical Microsoft fashion, you can never find anything using their knowledge base. Is there nothing? Oh. So that actually should be like a TechNet PS2 exe, but yeah, so Microsoft constantly changes their knowledge base and you can never find anything. So you got to do it through Google, which means you could get a virus. Gotta love that, man. But we'll grab it right here. Let's see who this is from. M. Schultz. How many stars? Forks. That should be fine. And I want to say on my inside, but it was Windows 10 as well, so could be an issue with that. Because this should work just fine. We could do a compile and just clone this entire thing. Sure. Let's try it. We're going to just extract all this to our downloads. Come in. I'm live stream. What's up?
I use some lunch stuff.
Oh, okay. I'll be in a minute. All right. The compiler is provided as part of the Microsoft.NET framework, but only supports language. Shocker. All right, that didn't work. There's like a gajillion ways to do PS to exe, but I don't know which ways will work on Windows 11. I've never had a problem with PS2 exe, but you know, all this does is it just changed our script to an executable. So the import module should work here, though. That's the thing that I'm not understanding what is happening with that. So we're in PowerShell. Like, that's obviously PowerShell. And usually when you do an import module, you get... Okay, there it goes. I guess it just needed to do it again. Maybe I did like a it might have, let's see, let's just do all. Might have been something with what I did with that. Or maybe it could have been the execution script prevented it by default. Something in Windows 11 caused it to fail the first time around. Anywho, getting back to it, I think we can just do an invoke like that after doing the install of the module. But, okay, that's not working. We're just going to go backslash win10. And then, I'm so used to Windows. debloat.exe. All right. Was not found in module ps2exe. Can we just use that? All right, yeah. What is happening? Win to PS2. Let's see if we can launch the GUI at least. All right, maybe not. All right, Technic Gallery. Usually there's a release tab here we can just grab. I hate to do it this way. Oh boy. Yeah, I already did import module. I think it's something with Windows 11. I am on a dev build of Windows 11, so not exactly the most stable. I should switch this out a bit. Just haven't yet. That is bizarre, but you can tell I did the install module of PS2. Maybe an import module. Yeah, PS2 exe. I did an install module, but not an import. But that's not loaded as well. Yeah, I mean, all I'm doing is just kind of killing time while it's installing the latest update. It's not that big a deal. I know just some folks wanted an executable. Oh, it says running scripts. Okay, maybe that's just execution problem. Okay, maybe that'll work. Oh, all right. Yay. There we go. So we did an install after setting like the execution policy to unrestricted. Not recommended. Probably need to set that back. Import the PS2 module, and then we ran that to grab our executable file. So now with that, we should have in our D drive, we run this as admin, run as administrator, boom. So then we have this in a nice, convenient package, has an executable. So then we can set all these things without even hitting the internet, and we have it in an executable if that's your jam. But we could always just remake that as well. So sweet. It was a little bit harder than it needed to be. You could also use this this is actually a GUI version of PS2 exe that you could do. It's just a little bit janky how it's all set up. I don't know why, but it's probably like a .NET thing. I mean, it's Microsoft. No rhyme or reason needed. All right, that's all good. Close that out. How's our install going? Pretty good. So I'll let this finish. We'll do a reboot on the install and see what happens. And when we do this inside our build, it should rebloat Windows up considerably. Right now, I've pretty much removed all of the basic stuff. If we go to like all apps, there's not too much in here that I haven't installed or touched. As you see, like there's a couple things like Edge. I've removed Edge. I just can't get rid of Edge. I've tried it a billion times. Every single time I get rid of it, it just comes back. It's like the plague. you can't get rid of Edge. You just got to live with it being there. But don't use Edge. I should stipulate, if you are an Edge user, my debloat scripts are not for you. You should never use them. It's going to break a lot of things, because when I'm killing telemetry and killing a lot of the functions that come in Windows 11 that are just bloatware or spyware, or pick your poison, Edge relies on those as well, because Edge, they want you to use Edge because that's just more data they can collect and sell from you. And that's why so many people, I've gotten a lot of people saying, hey, I used your debloat, now my Edge isn't working. It says controlled by administrator. And I'm like, not really. It just is looking for a lot of services that are no longer there or operational. Specifically, telemetry is heavily used and reliant on Edge and other things that I've disabled. So don't use Edge. I mean, I don't, and if you want to use Edge, that's fine, but don't watch my videos. Don't do it. I mean, that's how egregious. I hate Edge with a dire passion. You're never going to sell me on it. But it is very, very locked into Windows, and there's no getting rid of it. Rant over. Everything else, I'll probably leave. I will probably leave Xbox and some other stuff in there just because I'm curious to see what happens with that. Yeah, the exe file, you can just make your own. Just follow what I just did. Install module PS2 exe. Probably need it unrestricted for the execution policy, or at the very bare minimum, a least restrictive execution policy, and then import the module, and then you should be able to run PS2 exe to make your executable file. Use Outlook. Yeah, for work. I still have a day job. I'm not sold on this YouTube thing yet. I know that's kind of crazy. A lot of people would have probably quit by now. But I have a really good job, and they're not real demanding. And I have somebody up there working, so whenever that happens. But I also do other things on the side as well besides YouTube. Have pretty big into some other cryptocurrency projects and other things that have been very, very generous to me. So I don't talk about that on my channel at all, because I don't think a lot of that space is just real scammy and just nasty, and I don't want that on YouTube for the most part. I had a separate YouTube channel for it, but not anymore. I just kind of shut that down. A lot of people just misunderstand it. So I'll just stick to my debloats and my scripts and my Linux content. I'm content with that. I used Posh GUI to build the GUI for the script. That sadly means I have to not use a lot of the nice tools and pull requests people do. Some people try and clean up the GUI a bit for me, and while I'm appreciative of it, a lot of times I can't use it because a lot of times I'll change something in that Posh GUI and then it's just going to revert all their changes. This Posh GUI is kind of like a quick and dirty GUI system. I use it just to kind of add little buttons here and there, but that's one thing that is kind of a bummer about using it. I don't use Chrome either. Oops, you know what? I forgot to edit my grub again. Where's my... Oh, do I even have Control-Alt-Delete? Forgot to map that, I think. Oh wait, no, I do. I'll fix that grub as well. Oops. I am just a bit slow today. Let's see, third time's the charm. All right. Yeah, I mean, Brave's what I use, but you use whatever you want. I mean, browsers are kind of like a personal choice. I think they're all pretty crappy, really, when you get down to it. There's not a lot of really good, like, modern browsers out there. Yeah, actually, I saw in chat someone talk about Vivaldi and Opera. The original developer of Opera moved away when they got bought out, and Opera became not good. Let's just say that. Nobody uses Opera. But the original developer of Opera moved over to Vivaldi, and Vivaldi's a lot better. So if you're a big fan of Opera, use Vivaldi. It's a good alternative to Opera. I find it still a little bit too bloated for my taste, so I'm more of a Brave person. So I like Brave for mine. Some people really like Firefox, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's more of a personal choice. A lot of people were mentioning like WaterFox and some other privacy-oriented browsers. The problem with that is when you get in these forks of the major browsers out there, a lot of times they end up with a lot more security flaws and are less secure, maybe more private, but less secure. And to me, that is not something I would particularly be okay with. I definitely would err more on the side of security than privacy. And when you get into those forks with outdated code, you're going to run into more security issues, maybe less privacy issues, but more security issues. So I don't ever recommend WaterFox or any of the privacy-oriented browsers a lot of times. Yeah, Opera GX. I don't want to crap on somebody's product, but no, don't use that. The only reason that's even in the conversation is because they reached out to a billion different YouTubers and offered them money to shill Opera GX. Nobody likes Opera GX. Come on, there's no human being alive that likes it. I've gotten the emails. I know what the YouTubers are getting, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not worth it. It's a piece of crap. Don't use Opera GX. Come on, gaming browser. Oh no, you're not gonna. Just no. Oh, Michael, you're just trying to get a rise out of me today. I see. How I get the transparent title bar? Actually, that's part of our script here. So let's just run that script, shall we? Got the little executable. So you could install transparent taskbar right here. Just run my script. Just type debloat Windows, and then you should be able to run this. I need to change the title from Win 10. Let's fix that. But you can easily click this. It adds this transparent TB. This is all open source, completely free project. Great. I love it. And these are some other tools that I use quite a bit. I pretty much love every one of these. I always kind of on Windows, VLC is not too bad. Media Player Classic, this is actually a more up-to-date fork of Media Player Classic. A lot of people saying it's deprecated, but I think it still has some active development. I personally like it. Other things here too, if you run into like Windows Update fixes, sometimes Windows Update just breaks. When you click this button, it's going to run a PowerShell file that, well, it's actually part of my script now, but I took this, I didn't make it. I just run this one from TechNet. Windows Update reset. And what this does is it resets all of the Windows Update services. Let's say you get infected with a virus. The first thing it usually goes after is Defender and also Windows Update. What this does is it resets all the services to their stock settings, blows out software distribution folder in Windows, and this basically resets it to where when you're going into your settings, if we come into settings and we go to Windows Update and do a download of this, oh hell, did it not update? What version are we on? Oh, we're close. We're close. Okay, so I think it did update a bit. This is 22.489. So, yeah. So 22.58. Yeah, close. Maybe it'll allow me to switch my build. No, I'm going to have to reinstall. Oh well. I could reinstall Windows real fast, so we get a little bit more of a stock setting. Let's do that. We'll come into here and yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, sweet. Actually, you can put it in the fridge. I have peanut butter and thank you. Oh, how do you like the ottoman? Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Important business. All right. Heck with it. I feel like re-blowing this whole thing out. Let's just delete this whole Windows. I'm so sick of this dev build. I don't like it saying evaluation copy down here either. All right, let's fix that. Let's see how long it takes to install Windows, and then I can just kind of chat. Let's go into here. Where was that? I think it was actually... I'll do drive. What about main? I think I have it in... Man. 69.4 maybe? Yeah. Give me Windows 11 English. And we're going to want the latest version, V1. Copy that. And then we're going to put that into our Vintoy. Right here. I don't have another Windows 11 in there. I don't. Let's just copy that guy over. We'll just do a reinstall. And that way we can kind of see the script work from scratch, because I'm curious to see the effects of the script when you're working from scratch on it. Yeah, because I kind of want to emulate what everybody else has on a stock install, just to try it out. It's always good to do that every once in a while. So let's give this a whirl, shall we? I'm curious to see forget what installs I have on this drive. We might wipe out some boot partitions. I have a tendency to do that. Enable, disable OneDrive options make no sense. I think I put delete just there because I got tired of people saying that it wasn't functional or something like that. I can't remember what it was actually. It was... Oh yeah. People were like deleting OneDrive, but their OneDrive had like files in it. And I'm like, why would you delete OneDrive if you're using OneDrive? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I put delete, disable OneDrive to kind of tell people, hey, this is gonna delete, disable, and kill OneDrive. Don't do this if you use OneDrive. So that's why it said that. Why it's kind of so long-winded to try and idiot-proof it, so to speak, as much as you can. So that's the gist of it. So we'll go with Win 11 Pro, I think is what this one's licensed. Let's take a peek. What do we have for partition space? All right, just gonna pick the right one here. Which one's the right one though? Win 11, drive 5. I think drive 5 is there. Drive 3 is UEFI. Drive 1, nope. That looks like a different system. That looks like Linux. I'm just kind of mapping out my drives. All right, I think it's drive 5. Let's just use that, right? So we'll see if I wipe out something of importance. I would double check this if you're really concerned about your data. Frankly, you should be backing up your data if you're installing a new operating system. I'd recommend that. That would be something that I think would be good, is to back up data before doing a full install. But teach his own, you know. We're going to just use that drive, see what happens. All right, let's time this. It is 51 minutes since I hit the start streaming button. Let's see where this ends and how fast this installs Windows 11. I'm betting you it's going to take us 5 minutes to get to the desktop. What do we got for takers? I'm gonna ask chat. Oh, I don't have my Synology going, or Synergy going. I think I can come down into here, though. Let's go poll. And then we're going to go under 5 minutes, over 5 minutes. All right, here we go. Poll has started, and we're already running into problems. Could not update your computer's boot configuration. Installation cannot proceed. I should have put other. It's going to fail. Oh, sad face. Installation. Any changes you made to your computer won't be saved. Okay. Like, can we just install now? Let's see what it made. All right, we got to reset the timer here. Let's see what I'm doing. Let's see what... I bet you it still created partitions. Let's see. Did it create us a partition? Okay, created an MSR partition. That partition. So that's the wrong partition. It shouldn't do that. It's a UEFI boot, so it should create a UEFI, not an MSR. Oh, Windows, you stay classy. All right, I know it's a little bit more of a complex setup, but still, had hopes that we could do something with that. Did that even... Does look like it installed the operating system. Nah, there's only 700 megs. Yeah, so sometimes Windows does the MSR, but it should do MSR, UEFI, so you can boot both legacy and UEFI. That's why you do two partitions. You can do that on Linux as well, or Mac. No, Mac's UEFI only, but Linux can also do both. So you can actually design a system to boot from legacy and UEFI, and that's what it's doing, is it did legacy here, but then it like didn't do the UEFI partition. Like, why? I mean, we could do a manual install. You guys want to see that? That's a fun one. I mean... let's just exit. Yeah, we could disk part it out. Oops. Well, let's see if we can manually do it. I think we can. I think we could do something like that. There is something that's kind of interesting on this one up here. Do you think it wiped it out? I bet it wiped it out, right? Oh, what's this environment? Oh, that was my Arch system. That's right. Okay. It's like, what is that? I don't know what that one is. I got too many systems loaded on mine. Oh, well. We're gonna go back into here. And since Windows is having problems with this, I think we can manually do it all. All right, we're gonna go Shift F10, disk part, and then we're just gonna list these disks out real fast. List disk. All right, these are all the disks on the system. I believe disk 5 is what we settled on. List par. We got 2 partitions on here. We're gonna just delete par 1. Select par 1. Del par. We'll just delete that partition. Alrighty. Force. Help delete partition. What is the oh, it's override. Use force, but we actually named it override because we're Microsoft. Gosh, you gotta love it, man. All right, del par override. All right, so now list par, list disk. We have disk 5 selected. Now we can build out our partition structure for this. And I'm gonna have to pull up, I made a little website guide on this. Where is that? Oh, well, did I do that? All right, here we go. I'm gonna ignore chat for just a second. Oh, wait. I forgot. The chat responded with how long this is gonna take. It's definitely gonna take more than 5 minutes doing it the manual way. But let's end that poll. A lot of people say you can't do it under 5 minutes. I'm curious on that. If I remove my NVMe drives, we could do it. But I kind of want to just not. All right. Oh. Nope. ChrisTitus.com over here. I'm just going to pull up. Where did I think I made a little recovery cheat sheet on my website. Repair Windows boot partition. I think it kind of at least shows enough of it. I can look at it. Let's go create par 1. All right, create par EFI. List par. Okay, del par 1. Oops. Select par 1. Del par. Oops. My bad. I forgot to specify this. All right. All right, we're going to go one more time. Create par EFI, and then I think size, specifying the size. I want to say, oh, gosh darn it. Help create partition. Yeah, we don't need a 230 gig EFI partition. That would be great. Oh, help. Help create. Help create partition. Did I? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Common. All right. EFI. Oh, size. Okay, that's easy enough. create partition, EFI, size equals 500. Now, okay, size of partition in megabytes, so that's in MB. 500 is probably a bit excessive. Ooh, okay. Override that. Now, list bar. Ah, much better. All right, now we create partition. And we're going to do primary, I think, for this. List bar. All right, so now we have all of that set. This should be what Windows wants. So I think we can continue, and I think we can just select that. Let's see if we can go through the guided installer now. If not, we could always do like DSIM and just completely bypass the installer. Oh, that would be terrible, but funny at the same time. And we think I can just select this. All right, that's fine. Windows could not prepare the computer to boot to the next phase. All right. It's just not liking me. Why do I make it so difficult on myself? Disk part. Well, you don't need to regedit bypass it. This has TPM and it has secure boot enabled, so that's not it. It's actually the partition structure, because I have so many disks in here that it is like, I don't know what to do. And that's basically what's happening. It's not able to properly, because I want to install it on disk 5 there. It's just not wanting to install on disk 5. Here's our partitions. So we could select par 1. I think what we can do here is just list vol. Let's see. Oh man, so many volumes. This is a raw volume. We need to fix that. Let's maybe if we set it to EFI, the installer will pick it up. It does. I do believe it is GPT. When we do a list par, or at list disk actually, GPT's disk level. So if we look list disk, you'll see, yeah, disk 5 is GPT. Only, excuse me, disk 0 and disk 4 aren't GPT. So let's go ahead and build the boot partition. Maybe Windows just doesn't know what that partition is because it's considered raw right now. We have volume 7 selected. We will assign it letter G. Let's assign it letter R. All right. And then let's change list vol again. Select vol 2. Assign letter T. All right. List vol. And then we want to select vol 8. Wait a second. Why? No, that's not a vol at all. I rhymed. And G right here, we're going to assign letter C colon. All right, this is going to make sense here in a second. Basically what I've done is I've made disk 5, which I have like a gajillion disks in this system, so this gets a little complex. But disk 5, I went ahead and created the R drive, which it doesn't have a recognizable file system. I need to format it. That's the EFI partition. And then I made C colon the actual where we're going to put the OS. So having said that, let's first get that going. I think we can do... Oh, I don't think this guide's going to work for me. I had it, but format. I think I can just do a format of R colon and do like a quick. No. Format. It's been so long since I've used the format command. Ooh, FS is gonna be FAT32. Or is EFI just regular FAT? No, it's FAT32 for EFI. I'm pretty sure. Let me look. Yeah. I can see like E drive is a hidden EFI. That other one's a yeah. So it should be just regular FAT32 for that. All right. So we're just gonna do format. One more check on that size. We're gonna go format, FS, FAT32, R, enter. Yes. EFI. All right, that should work. Disk 5 doesn't say that. I think that's disk 4 you were seeing. If you look just at the list, you might have been looking at the volume. Yeah. That's so volume 5 is EFI, but if you do list disk, you'll notice EFI, I think, is disk 4. So select disk 4. It doesn't make much sense when you think about it, but there's 3 structures with disk part. There's the disk, there's the partitions, and then there's the volumes. So just think of it that hierarchy. There's no consistency of like how it's labeled or numbered, so you just kind of have to remember what level you're on and what you're trying to do. Some operations are going to want to select the volume and use whatever's the selected volume. Some operations are going to be like partition based, some operations are going to be disk based. And it's just, you have to kind of just know to utilize that. Alrighty. But having said that, we are good. That all looks solid, and now we should be able to go into R. This is what we need to make our boot. So we're just going to go... Oh, I don't even think I have a Windows install here, do I? Do I have Windows on here? Oh, I don't. I think I need to make the Windows setup happen first. Let's see if it, now that it has the proper boot structure, if it'll do it. I don't think it will. I think we're going to have to manually do everything through command prompt to install Windows 11. But again, not a big deal. We can do that. So here's our EFI. It's now properly labeled and formatted. And here's our Windows install. I want the Windows files to go here, and then it should see the EFI partition and just install the boot files there. But that's probably not going to work. Let's see. I don't think I've broken it yet. Key here is yet. I basically just had to use diskpart to manually partition everything. Although this is the official install, so maybe it will go through. We're at 1 hour, 10 minutes in the stream. We'll see how long it takes. We should be on the desktop by 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's usually this only takes usually a couple minutes to power through and install Windows these days. In a perfect world. But it has been far from perfect today. So after this is when it checks the boot procedure. So once we get 100, I'm curious to see if it will see that EFI partition that we created and do it properly. Maybe? No. No. In typical Windows fashion, of course. I thought that was too big of an ask. So if we look at C, oh, it didn't kind of install Windows though. I wonder how much of Windows it installed. All right, let's just build the boot sector for it. I think it installed it though. Even though it failed, I think it like partially installed. Let's just go C:. Oh, DR. You know, I think that's enough. I don't think we really need to do a DISM here. I think the installer went through enough, and now we just kind of have to push it over the finish line, which I think we can just do like a BCD boot, C/Windows, and SR:, force all. Okay, and then if we look here, we now have some boot files. I think we can just do a boot rec scan OS. This is such the worst, jankiest Windows install ever known to ever grace the old YouTubes. Oh my word. All right, the requested system could not be. I've never seen that error before. Yes. Huh. What do y'all think? Will it boot? Maybe. Let's give it a whirl. I mean, we could try like a boot rec fix boot maybe. There might be like an old one in there. No, it's not gonna allow me to do anything. I mean, let's give it a whirl. Maybe. I think it only installed though. I don't think it's like if you go to C drive. Let's go C drive. You can see it's not really using much space. I'm curious. Let's give it a reboot and see if I can't boot into this. That'd be hilarious if it worked though. All right, let's see here. Debian. Well, there's Windows Boot Manager. Well, I mean, did something. The boot configuration data. Okay. I wonder. Here's an idea. What if we do a startup repair? Oh, give it up, man. I should totally give this up, but now I'm just like, I'm so lost in the weeds today anyways. I kind of want to just make it work. Let's come down to Windows 11. And then let's do like a repair and see what happens. Yeah, I could disable the disk from BIOS. There's an easy way to do this, is just don't install Windows with 7 disks with other operating systems on it. I totally get that. Let's see what it does. I bet it totally is like, we don't know what's wrong. You got a weird system. You're on your own. But sometimes you can get it like far enough, you can kind of push it far enough along that it's like, okay, I kind of know what's wrong now. And then it just does it. Although that hard reset there does not give me a warm, fluffy feeling. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, fun tidbit there, y'all. All right, let's fix it. All right, let's go in advanced mode. What we could do is just disable the boot things and just do it regular. Be boring. I think, let's see. I think I can remove... Ooh, I don't know if I can disable my... Oh, no. Here it is. Oh, no, I can't disable my NVMe drives. I don't think I can. Maybe a SATA config. Let's see. Maybe. I don't think that's going to allow me to disable it. Oh, I know. I'm not even using XMP. I mean, we can turn that on if you want. I don't care. I do not care one bit. I think I'm only using 2100 frequency, so I don't even need XMP. I don't have nice memory in this machine. We could do XMP. I think maybe it's 2400, but I know it's not like 3000. I'm almost positive on that. No, where's my XMP profile? Nope. Oh, man. Let's see here. Maybe it's not. Let's see. I might have went past it. Wish they did a better job of labeling. DRAM, maybe. No, that's not it. Where is my XMP profile? That's not it either. It's just specifying a manual frequency. Oh, okay. DOCP for this. Did that give it to me? It says DDR32. No, this can't be 32. I mean, yeah, sure. Why not? I want to say this has changed since last time I looked at it. That's why I'm having like this bewildered look on my face. Because I remember this just being like profile 1, but I can't remember the last time I updated this. Okay. Yeah. Sure, let's save and exit that. Save and reset. Sure, I guess I do have 3200 megahertz RAM. It seems really odd. Maybe I did switch that out. You know what? When I rebuilt this computer, maybe I did switch out my memory. I can't remember. We did it on a live stream. So, yeah. Maybe that's the thing. This is... Did we actually install it? Like, that shouldn't have worked. Obviously, it was not running in XMP 3200 memory, but maybe I missed the bootloader on one of the disks and it just like magically picked it out on a reboot. I mean, I'm skeptical on this because I think the install was only 1 gig here. And that was not enough. I don't think that was enough files. Okay, magic. That was the jankiest install of all time. That was terrible. Oh my word. This is too great. Oh. I don't have internet. I don't know what you're talking about. Connect with limited setup. Boo. I'm gonna set a super memorable password. No one's getting into my stuff. Ah, who cares? We're all gonna change it once we get on the desktop. Yeah, we could do OOB with like a what is it? WIM unattended XML. That was odd though. That was like this by far the jankiest install I think I've ever done on my life. That's ever graced the presence of YouTube, I think, as well. That was odd. Because the install failed, and then I rebuilt the boot partition. And then we rebooted, and then it was like, this boot partition is just not working. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And now... Ooh, I think maybe it grabbed my Linux partition, boot partition, and wiped it out. And put it there. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, so we're going to use the Windows Toolbox. That's the whole point of doing this on a fresh install. That was definitely one of the points of doing it this way. I would say Windows 10's just a bit more proven at this point. So if you like but I like the aesthetic of Windows 11. I think that's the big turn on. That's like the selling point of Windows 11 is the look. If you like the look of Windows 11, you should stay on Windows 11. Or if you like the look of Windows 10, don't move to Windows 11. Windows 11 looks differently. I happen to like the look of Windows 11. I think that's the big turn, the big point that's just awesome. Alrighty. This is very interesting. I wonder why it's not... Oh, I bet it's not grabbing anything because of... I'm just going to uninstall some of this stuff real quick. Just the garbage. Who needs a calculator? All right. Get a little bit more minimal startup here. All right, that should be good. And let's take a peek here. Just flip through. Uninstall. Can I get rid of that? Nope. Can I get rid of that? Nope. I'm just looking at what by stock defaults we can get rid of here. Can't get rid of maps. Of course you can't get rid of Edge. News. Nobody likes the news. Solitaire, you hadn't been good for like 15 years. To do, nobody uses you. Office, uninstall. OneDrive, can you uninstall OneDrive? Oh, let's see. What happens if you uninstall it from here? All right. What else we got? Photos, snip and sketch. That's weird. So they still left snipping tool. I think that's kind of it. Oh, it's just a shortcut to snip and sketch. That's what happened. So they had a whole bunch of backlash at removing snipping tool. So they just basically rebranded it looks like. Neat. Ease of access, whatever. It's fine. We can leave that. Windows Terminal, also very good. Okay. Just kind of flipping through, seeing what's there. OneDrive does not look like it removed. All right, and then we just kind of... Can we edit things? Oh, yes. Unpin that. Unpin that. Just kind of cleaning things up. Chat. Oh, is it not allowing me to use... Nope. Ah, okay. So I can't remove widget? Let's see, taskbar settings. You can only disable them here. Okay. So it means they're still there of some sort. We'll come back to that. All right. I just kind of like a little bit of a fresh canvas to start with, right? I think that's a pretty good starting point. And then we run our tool, see what happens. But first, I need to get everything installed. I think we're missing some drivers. What are we missing? Yeah, we're missing the Ethernet driver. 1 second, guys. Yeah, I hate Snip and Sketch. I prefer probably ShareX, or if you don't like ShareX, probably GreenShot. Both are very good. That give me internet access? No. Well, what's that? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, let's fix these drivers. I'll fix the driver issues. We're just gonna go backslash C9.4. And let me grab my crazy password for this. Everybody's like, well, it looked, I was like, I plugged it in. I don't see it coming. I think it was just running a little slow. As soon as it plugged in, Windows is like, yes, we have control now. We are going to download the entire internet. I'm half joking. I wanted to remove everything from it too, just to say when this does kind of leave it online for a little bit. Let's see what it actually grabs, because I'm curious what it'll actually download. Oh, whoa. Oh, it's downloading and installing some drivers now. Or even got to it. You kind of have to admire that, though. For, like, the average user, think about it. Like, trying to, like, search and find the drivers by the time I can even log into my system here. Let's see. I think it's probably going to download and install all my drivers. All right. Oh, really? All right, fine. Oh man, yeah. So anyways, I guess it's downloading all my drivers directly from Microsoft. Okay. Did not grab my Ethernet controller though. We look at like our Ethernets. So I have just the regular motherboard one, but I have a 10 gig card. Let's see if it can find that. Do I dare just grab it from... Instead of doing it my normal way, let's see what Windows Update gives us. It's always been a nightmare installing from Windows Update, but I'm kind of curious to see what this experience is like now. Yeah, so the network share, oh, look at that. It just grabbed it and installed it. Ah. All right, let's install all the stuff from Windows Update. Oh, I would never do this way, but what am I not? What build am I on to? Okay, I'm not on the insider program. I think, you know, I'm going to just stay on the stable channel for now. Let's just see what this grabs from Windows Update. If this grabs all my device drivers, that's going to be, I mean, that's almost a huge boon for Windows. I got to give it like a thumbs up. Because before it would be just, I have some pretty exotic hardware in here too. Like my 10 gig card, that looks like it's working. It looks like it's grabbing it, which is kind of cool. Hey, Charles, how's it going? I still can't believe this thing installed. That's probably the wildest part of all this. It's like, hey, that actually worked. Hey, Sparky's here too. Oh, who else I miss? Yeah, I usually do SDIO or Snappy Driver Origin installer. I think it's SDOI, Snappy Driver Origin installer tool. Actually, I think that's SDOI SDOT. SDOT. I don't know. But yes, that's one pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, Don knows me too well. I'm always looking for an excuse to break my system. And a good way I've broken it in the past is installing drivers through Windows Update. But so far, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but so far this does look very good. If you give Windows 10, 11 a thumbs up, I'm going to watch LTT. Hey, nothing wrong with LTT. It's SDIO. Okay, well. Snappy Driver Origin. I always added tool to the end because the original, that was a fork, Sparky, of the original one. So there was Snappy Driver Tool. I think it was just Snappy Driver Tool, or SDT. And then it like got taken over by some malware or somebody like that, and then it just went to crap. All right, let's try to restart this guy. And then the original creator of it moved over to Snappy Driver Installer Origin and open sourced it, I believe. But yes, Snappy Driver Installer Origin is what you want. But I'm going to see what happens on just the stock install here using Windows Update. Yeah, and we're going to figure out what it's booting from. I have a hunch it wiped out my grub partition. I think it went and saw like Linux on there, and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna just take your boot and install it. So I'm kind of curious. Yeah, the origin was added to it. That's right. SDI. Yep. All right. So let's look at our apps right fast, see what that's looking like. And I also want to just kind of pigeonhole everything on that 10 gig card. So we're going to just disable this network card. Force everything there. Sure, install it. I'm just do your thing, Logitech. At least I don't have a Razer device installed. It's missing a little bit. PCI encryption, decryption controller. But overall, nothing too bad. Let's check run our updates again, because any fresh install. Can we just activate? Usually it activates. Maybe there's like a hardware change. I can still get my key. I'll do it later. All right. And we'll go Windows Update. All right, retry. Looks like it's just grabbing AMD drivers and then a Logitech driver. Yeah, so we can kind of check it with Grub. Let's see, disk management. Let's see what old disk management tells us. So I have a couple drives on this system. So our main C drive right here is grabbing this. I have a ton of EFI partitions kind of like all over the place. This is the Linux boot partition. This is supposedly the Windows EFI partition. I'm having doubts on that though. And this is Ventoy. Here's an extra 1,000 or what? A 1 gig EFI partition. And then we have two like off the beaten patch EFI partitions. So in total, this system has 1, 2, 3. We won't count Ventoy. 4, 5. This has 5 EFI partitions. Yeah. I don't know on that. We'll see what we could. Oh, usually you can assign a drive letter and then kind of take a peek. But I am curious to see where it put it. The one thing that kind of... Yeah, okay. We'll try to boot to Windows after we get this up to date. All right, we're up to date. Everything looks good. Now we'll just run our tool. Just pull up old Edge. Only time we'll use it. Hi. All right. Yep. Yep. All right. So if we go debloat Windows. There we go. Somebody just copied my screen. Oh, well. Thanks, random die. It's kind of funny. Like, this is Bing. But if you go to Google and type debloat Windows. Yeah, you get this. So Windows gives it my Microsoft's like, no. I'm not gonna recommend this guy's page. Gotta love that. All right. Anywho, let's run our debloat tool, and then we're just gonna clean some stuff up. Winget not found, installing it now. That's interesting, because Windows 11, when I first did it, had Winget by default. That is very interesting. Okay. All right, now it says it's installed. Okay. And we have our settings. So we'll install Brave first. Make sure we got that. You have to say yes here? Okay. I just kind of want to get like what the stock experience is from a fresh Windows install. It's just kind of like the whole purpose of this. Yeah, I can't make a debloated Windows ISO. Just because redistributing any of the installers from Windows holds a prison sentence. No joke. There's one guy that refurbished a whole bunch of computers and then ended up going to prison for like 2 years because of that. So there's not a chance I'm going to do that. Windows terminals already installed by default. Grab some power toys. 7-zip, sure. Auto hotkey is what I use. I need to make a video. I keep saying I'm going to make a video about auto hotkey and then I just forget. Do need to change my date and time settings. I am Central Time. All right, that's fine. I guess I'm just gonna go through each one of these. It'd be nice, I guess, to do some type of automated, just like check the boxes and then hit install. I need to probably look into how to code that in the actual script itself for sure. But I mean, this is still a lot better than going to the web and downloading and installing it. Yeah, I've used Night Night a bunch. Night Night's actually pretty good for bulk installs as well. Power Toys gives you like screen utility, color picker, some other really cool features. Oh yeah, this is done. Auto hotkey. Shouldn't take long. I'll come back for some of this stuff like Discord, GitHub Desktop, translucent toolbar. Got to have that. That's one of my favorite tools. And it gives us that nice little toolbar aesthetic. A lot of those tools I will use. ShareX is what I use for my screenshots. Got to have. All right. See, it even pinned Edge again, just on launching. Man, they're like crazy. All right, skip welcome tour. I need to add search deflector into here as well. That's another one. And then we'll just grab like Notepad++. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need that for any kind of editing. And probably like Codium as well. All right, so now we get down to the essentials. Like I was just installing a couple like brand new tools here. Now let's get down to like the essential tweaks here. Walk through this, grabbing ONO Shutup with recommended settings, disabling telemetry, feedback, maps, a whole bunch of other stuff that can be a little bit cumbersome. I also like to disable Action Center as I don't like this little blue whatever this is. Ugh. Awful. Like to show all my tray icons. We'll go dark mode. Performance VFX. A lot of people aren't going to want most of these tweaks that I'm doing on this. This is just totally my preference. I like more of an old school, quick and clean look. So that's why we'll disable and uninstall WinDrive. I also like to get rid of Cortana and search. So we'll do disable OneDrive, disable search and Cortana. So usually on this, what I like to do is just go properties, apply, okay, continue, ignore all. And this just kind of, if Windows search ever does get enabled for whatever reason, it's not going to have anything to index because all my drives are basically going to be shut off, meaning all of them are going to say do not index. So that's why I always uncheck allow this file and drive contents. It does mean that it's not going to be able to search inside my folders, but don't be a pig and have stuff everywhere, and you'll now have a faster system because you're not relying on Windows search. Yeah, I should do like just a full-on non-interactive mode, Sparky, that would just do it all for you. That's how I started it up. It's so many people kept asking for all these little tweaks, and that's kind of why I made it this. I think at doing a non-interactive mode, again, just for my own personal preference, I think I'll probably do. I don't think I'll publish that though. Or if I do, it'll be published on like GitHub, but I won't make a video or tell people about it. Just because it's going to cause people problems. They're like, why doesn't my search work? Or why doesn't fill in the blank? I have too many problems with that. That's why I kind of have it all separated out here. Why that's doing that thing. Let's take a peek here of anything else. We'll set BIOS time to UTC. That's pretty much needed. And probably do just security updates. See how that does. So if we do like security updates and then go into settings, let's go into Windows Update, check for updates. It does not say managed by your organization, which tells me that I don't think this is actually working. Interesting. Delivery optimization. Okay, that's off. Okay, some of that's managed by organization. That's what we want. 8 and 5. That actually, I kind of like to set this at like 7 a.m. and then end time at 1 a.m. You can set up to 18 hours of active time, and then it can only update between the hours of 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. is basically what that's doing. I always like to set that. Delivery optimization, all that looks fine. All right. These things have changed around a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Recovery. It's always bad, but you know. All right. We'll leave that be. And I think that pretty much does all of the settings. We'll give it a reboot and see what this looks like. Also, I'm going to do an F8 on a startup and see if we can't, if we still even have our old system, because I'm curious of how this even got installed. That's kind of interesting. And then also, just to take a peek here, what is our, we have 120 processes. This should drop under 100 on reboot as well, with the deep load from what we just did. I would say the easiest method is just trial and error. There's a lot of really good PowerShell scripts on probably TechNet. I know I grabbed some stuff in that utility, specifically like the Windows Update repair that I did. That was all from TechNet, so that's a good spot. All right, let's give it a reboot. And then we're going to do F8. See if our grub's still there. All right, so there's this one, which I don't think is there. I think this is the one when we tried to boot and it gave us a blue screen. But this is where we installed the Windows 11. Okay, well, never mind. That does work. Cool. Quick boot. And if we look at PowerShell performance, what are we at? Not too shabby. All right, so fresh install, fresh debloat, 76 processes on the docket, and a fresh Windows 11. Things are working very, very smooth, very clean. This is the stable release, no longer on the dev channel. Yeah, I mean, can you really beat that? I guess maybe make some more stuff automated for folks. I could also disable background apps and some other things to further make this ease, but then people are going to get a little bit gripey with me about like losing searchability. So I did kill search. I just really hate search. Is there anything else that got installed here? Most of this is stuff I put on, so that's about as minimal as you can get on a Windows install. And the process count's actually dropping. We're almost to 70 processes on Windows 7. That is not too shabby. Oh, and our memory, I think we actually did 3200 megahertz on the speed. We did an XMP profile too. So thanks, guys. It's a lot faster. Yeah, disabling background apps breaks a lot of Windows Store utility. So like when you're in the Microsoft Store, if you disable background apps, you're going to have problems with like WSL and other things, which I do videos on. And if I'm doing any kind of development in Windows, I absolutely have to have WSL because a lot of times it's something with Linux or something like that. And I got to have my WSL. So that's why I don't disable background apps. The store actually looks better than the last time I saw it. I mean, it's still not great, but it's not, well, it's still awful, but it's not as bad. I feel like it's gotten a little better. All right, so that's good. Yeah. All right, let's make an executable file out of this. Is probably the next thing to do. We'll just go raw. Let's see how that works, just so we have another one of these on stream. Shouldn't take very long at all with the new setup. You know what? Yeah, don't do that, kids. Do as I say, not as I do. I just get really tired of UAC. Let's just go install module ps2 exe. Then we should be able to do go yes. I think there's one more we have to agree to on this Git. Yes. Yeah, a lot of the team stuff, I just saw that, UMS. A lot of the team stuff automatically installing from update is... it's probably going to come back. It's much like Microsoft Edge. Like I showed people how to uninstall Microsoft Edge, but every single update, Microsoft Edge just comes right back. They've pretty much baked it into the core of Windows. You can't have Windows without Edge unless you do. I think the European version, which is Pro-N or Pro-N, I think they have laws in Europe that prevents Microsoft from bundling it like that. So hopefully you could probably use that, or you could just, hopefully Europe just like sues the pants out of Microsoft and then they just stop bundling it like they do. But right now, if you're in the States here, you're gonna get Edge no matter what you do. You can uninstall it, but as soon as you do an update, it's gonna just come right back. Yeah, a lot of the GDPR and the anti-monopoly laws, they actually enforce it a little bit in Europe. Here in the States, it's just kind of all a big joke. Everything's a monopoly these days when it comes to the tech industry. Let's go before Google shuts off my stream for saying that. Let's try to import without changing the execution policy. So we're going to import this module now. All right, so let's set execution policy, unrestricted. And let's try to import that. And now we should be able to change this. So we're going to do ps2 exe and we go win10. Ow, man, come on. ps2 exe win10. And then we're just going to do that again. All right, that should be our executable file. Sure, install. So now if we want to run it, we can just grab that. Oops, didn't run it as admin. Run as admin. All right, there it is. Perfect. So there's the offline. I wanted to show those two things. Check out Windows 11. I do need to change some of the script around real fast, which I don't think I'm authenticated with just yet. But in the script itself, you can see the title of the script is Windows 10. Yeah, Windows 10 debloat. I need to change that forum text, which should be pretty easy. And maybe add a couple more things. Was there anything else that was missed? Yeah, the tools should work with PowerShell 7. It's actually pretty recent. Please don't spam chat, guys. I mean, Mac has Safari baked in much like Edge does for Windows, but a lot of times I think I use Brave on my Mac machine, so I don't really have any problems there either. All right. Oh, the inversion removes media bloat only. Okay, so never mind. I thought there was an antitrust thing from the EU about that. Typically, I don't encrypt my disk here in the studio because someone breaks into here, I got bigger things that I got to worry about than them logging into my computer. All right, well, let's give it a reboot. I am curious to see if our system is even still there as far as the system I usually normally use. I just kind of want to give Windows 11 another whirl because it's been a month or two since I did a live stream with Windows 11. I wanted to try out that, kind of show how to make an executable file because I get that question quite a bit, but I want you to make it. I don't want you to rely on a download of it. I think that's not good. So that's why I kind of want to show people how to do that. I showed it twice. And then let's see. Yeah. Okay, cool. So my Linux portion is encrypted, as you saw right there. But let's see how this looks on this side of things. Ah, so much better. Ah, feels so much more peaceful. Got my nice terminal. Yeah. All right, let's go grub customizer. Do want to see, did it grab the Windows instance? So it didn't actually install the Windows partition here. So I would have to manually add this to grub. That's kind of interesting. So I might do something with that. Maybe a future video. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Pretty successful. As long as it doesn't use log4j. Yeah, that's a good point, Sparky. If you are running like a Minecraft server or any kind of Java application, it should be pointed out that you need to patch your systems. Log4j is a big thing. It is a massive vulnerability. So if you do use Java for anything, it's important to look. And a lot of things do use Java, even today. I would say for me, which I'm going to pop this out actually, just so I can see chat a little bit better. Yeah, I would say for me, it was my Minecraft server that was vulnerable. I did check to see, like, my firewall uses like pfSense. I really like pfSense a lot. And it did not have suffer any vulnerabilities from the log4j. At least nothing that I had in pfSense used Java, which is good. And pfSense itself even came out and said that they don't use any kind of Java. So yeah, I guess if you do use Java at all, just remember to update your systems. That's the big thing. Is it much slower with encryption? Drive encryption typically doesn't slow down my drive, or at least not noticeable that I could see. Ooh, 450 gigs on an SDIO update. Jeez, Sparky. That's crazy. NV Clean installs NVIDIA's way to make like a clean install of NVIDIA tools. Very important. Yeah, that's a good point too, Charles. Let me see. Yeah, I think I have this on here. 1 second. I was so far behind getting things set up on the stream today, I tell you. Let me highlight some chat here. Yeah, here we go. Bam. Charles. Yeah, some things use Java and you don't know about it. This is so true. A lot more things than you realize use Java. So it's very important to look into log4j. If you're unsure, Google it and see if it does have any interaction with Java. And if it does, make sure you're on the recent update because they will have patched log4j. Every major vendor out there should have patched it by now. It's a custom grub theme. I need to publish it. I just haven't yet. Hey, thanks so much for the super chat there, Ram. I also wanted to check. I think there was another one earlier today, and I did not want to see it. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats during all that commotion. That was a wild install of Windows 11. Still can't believe it even worked. To be frank, I don't think it should have. Oh, I tell you. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything, so we're good. That's awesome. Can I add programs in your tool instead of the ones you have? Yeah, Jay. You can fork that script. It's actually pretty easy. You can actually look through it, find the labels, and just change the labels, which is actually the GUI button, and then go to the subroutine that it calls. That label's going to call something, and then you just go to that, change it to whatever it is. Your program might not be there, though. It does use WinGet to install it, so mileage will vary. BitLocker was never best. Anything, Veracrypt would be better. Pretty much anything but BitLocker. BitLocker, what it does a lot of times is it stores your unencryption keys with Microsoft servers. So if someone has access to your Microsoft account, a lot of times they have access to your BitLocker keys to unlock your system. So I guess it could be a blessing and a curse. Curse from security point, blessing because a lot of times you'll never lose your keys because Microsoft holds those keys for your BitLocker a lot of times. So it's it just depends on your point of view there. But yes, make sure you have at least two-factor authentication on your Microsoft account if you do use BitLocker. Wait, I see it. It's unmetered. So yeah, that's awesome, man. SDI, Snappy Driver Origin Tool is amazing. I love it. Debian ISO, RAM. I will say I'm still working on it. I was going to do it this weekend, but I just have been a little bit under the weather. Still a little under the weather. I'm like, oh, just dragging today. So I'm getting to it, though, for sure. I don't know. I'm curious to see if he continues the challenge. I think they still said they had like 3 videos on the docket, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. You consider adding the old right-click context menus? Yes. Yes, I do. I'm actually going to notate that down, SK. I think that is mandatory. I miss those old right-click, and I think a majority of the population misses that. So I'm going to actually Windows debloat, add additions. Old context menu definitely needs to be added. Old context menu definitely needs to be added. Because the new one with the icons is garbage. Hot garbage. 2110. I haven't seen any videos, mainly because 2110 is not the LTS release of Ubuntu, and Pop! OS is based on Ubuntu, and Ubuntu 21 was pretty rough. By far, I think the consensus in the Linux population is it's the worst version of Ubuntu so far. Me personally, any Ubuntu systems I have just rolls the LTS, the Ubuntu 20. I mean, it's pretty close, Pat. I mean, there's still some things that you just have issues with. I think hardware support is the biggest thing with Wine that has probably the biggest wrench get thrown in the wheels. But 100% compatibility is never really going to happen. It'll get close, though. I mean, it is pretty close right now. I mean, it does so much. I am so satisfied with what Wine can do. Custom Windows ISOs. I don't like custom Windows ISOs as long as it's well documented and you can replicate the ISO process yourself. I'm okay with it. So that's my thing. It has to be open source. I need to look at how they're making those ISOs, but just regular Windows ISOs that you download that's from a non-Microsoft source, I've seen so many viruses over the years that I can never recommend that to people. You have a lot of patience. You have to, man. I got to tell you, a good example of this, if you've done IT for any period of time, I think what happens with a lot of new folks is you when you first start like fixing major systems, a lot of times you'll go to do a migration or whatever it is. And I think early on in my career, I made this mistake a couple times, and I was impatient with the process. And that impatience cost me hours, sometimes even days of my life, because I did not just wait it out and just go, okay, what's happening? Let me just take a deep breath. Let's just see what happens. And then I'll go from there. So patience is an amazing ability that I think anybody that works on computers for any period of time, you just have to develop that skill. I think it's so important. TrueCrypt. I don't think I've used TrueCrypt. I've tried Scoop. It worked pretty well. I think it was a little bit better than Chocolatey when I was using it. And then Wingate came out, and I was like, well, I'd rather just do with the Microsoft sanctioned one if it does pretty much everything. I think I recommend ESET right now, but I mean, AV is such a tricky thing. If you don't want to pay any money for antivirus, just stick with Windows Defender. And if you do, I think ESET's not too bad. I really hate Kaspersky. McAfee, I hate. I can tell you the ones I don't like, and then you just pick whichever ones that don't fall into this list. I think that's an easier way. So let's just rattle through the terrible antivirus that you should never install or pay for. First one, McAfee. Second one, Norton. Third one, Trend Micro. Fourth one, Avast. Fifth one, AVG. Sixth one, seventh one, I've lost count. Avira, terrible. Pandas, getting okay. I mean, Pandas has been a long time since I've even dealt with it. I'm trying to think of other ones I absolutely hate. I think those are my top 7 terrible antiviruses I view as a virus and I uninstall as soon as I see it on a person's system. And yeah, I think those are the worst. There's other ones I don't like for other reasons, like Kaspersky has really good detection, but I think it's just like really aggressive and I hate it. And it's just like in your face. So that's kind of my view on antivirus. So then anything else is kind of fair game from that point. You got, let's see, Malwarebytes. I mean, Malwarebytes has really fallen from grace. It used to be a recommendation, but not really. Bitdefender's pretty decent. I do agree. I like Bitdefender. I'm trying to think. F-Secure. I don't think I've used F-Secure, so I can't really say anything. Vipery has a terrible detection rate last time I used it, I think. I don't think it's very good, but it is also pretty minimal. So I can't say anything bad about Vipery other than check its detection rates, see what it's at. But I mean, I don't think it really caused me any headache. Same with ESET. But again, whenever I'm saying like, hey, these are okay, just get the antivirus. Don't go with that internet suite crap. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Just don't do it. Joseph, thanks so much for the super chat. Really appreciated your VirtualBox answer. Was wondering if you knew a way to virtualize Android x86 with Bluetooth. I haven't tried that. You might try to do like a QEMU Android x86 roll on that and then try and pass through the Bluetooth. I think that'd probably be your best bet. It's been a while since I've used an Android ISO on or an Android image on QEMU, but I've done that in a while. Oh man, a lot of talk on there. Yeah, it's funny how bad a lot of antiviruses are. Again, Windows Defender used to be bad, but it's actually not too bad these days. I honestly prefer Windows Defender over a lot of antivirus, a lot of other antivirus out there. You can use that right now, Raz. If you're looking for the Windows 11 debloat tool, it's still the Windows 10 debloat works with Windows 11. I need to rebrand it as just Windows debloat and just say, hey, that's what I used today for the Windows 11 cleanup, where we had it around about 70 processes. So we did pretty good with our Windows 11 debloat today. I was really satisfied with that result, and it was very solid. PC Security Guard. Yes. Yep. I love the PC security guy. I've seen his videos, and if you're interested in PC security, especially on Windows, that is a no BS kind of guy. Like almost every YouTuber out there has their own spin, and I'm sure I have mine too, my own bias. But the PC security guy, I would say, is probably one of the most unbiased guys out there. I remember him installing Windows 11 and saying, how secure is this, and running a bunch of tests. And I'd sat there just mesmerized by him just kind of showcasing and breaking down how good Defender is when it has an internet connection and how bad Defender is when it doesn't have an internet connection. And it was really interesting to see how that works and the fundamentals of like just cloud-based scanning that Defender relies on for getting decent security. Because I think he was able to just completely infect a Windows 11 machine as long as it didn't have antivirus. Out of all the ransomware that he was testing on that video, was, I think, only 1 or 2 slipped by and infected the PC with Windows Defender, which is not bad. It's not like, oh, he didn't get a passing score, but it was still interesting. But I love that guy. Very good. Hey, man. Windows, it has its time and place. I just don't like living in Windows. I still like gaming on Windows. I'm actually I've been like, okay, I'm gonna game on. I'm trying to get back into EverQuest actually. So I've been touching Windows, but a lot of times it's like a remote machine that's playing my game for me, so I don't have to actively load it on my on mine. Oh yeah, PC security channel. I think I got it. I think most people would be able to search that. Yep. You don't have your own BIOS. Yeah, I mean, it slips through every now and again. I try to be as objective as possible. But I get emotional sometimes, and I'm like, this sucks. You know? So it happens. Have you ever developed a back end? It depends on the back end. I've dealt with a lot of it. I've mainly done mostly operational work, so I'm mainly your infrastructure guy, not the active developer on most projects. That said, I have worked in more of the DevOps thing, where I had like a database guy and other things where I helped make that connection happen with the physical hardware and what was getting developed in the back end. But to answer your question, no, not an expert, not my area of expertise, to say the least. What is new on the Windows 11 debloater? Not too much. I showed like executable file today. We didn't really change much on the code side of things. I just kind of wanted to test it on a fresh Windows 11, which we did, and it performed extremely well. I was pretty happy with the results. Best way to virtualize a physical Ubuntu server? Any suggestions? I would use like QEMU. Or if you don't want to do that, actually, if you're not using Windows, let's say you're using Windows instead of Linux, I would say on a separate box, check out XCP-ng. I love that hypervisor. It's a great, probably one of my favorite hypervisors. I know a lot of YouTubers recommend Proxmox. It can be good if you're doing a lot of graphic stuff on those headless machines that are servers. And then Proxmox might be a better solution for you. But for me personally, you just can't beat XCP-ng. I love it. It's great. Now, it's still EverQuest 1. So I'm getting back into EverQuest 1. They just released their 28th expansion. I was there in 1999. I'm going to shut down EverQuest 1. Whenever it shuts down. I mean, they just keep creating expansions. I'm like, okay. That's funny. Do you recommend Intelligent Standby List Cleaner? I've never used that, AJ. It's interesting. Intelligent Standby List Cleaner. I'll have to look that up. How would you run a Windows raw disk and QEMU on an Arch-based system? You should be able to just install Virt Manager. There's a lot of guides online to make that happen. I keep forgetting to do my QEMU video. Oh, all right. I'm going to type that in too. All right. Virtualization. I'll have to workshop the video name here. Virtualization. That's not how you spell virtualization. Done right. We'll do that. Because I think a lot of people use VirtualBox and VMware and all these crap programs for virtualization. I played DAOC briefly. I got to the RVR back when it was released. What was it, 2003 or 2002? So a little bit of Dark Age, but not long. It wasn't my jam. I was more like EverQuest 1 and Final Fantasy 11 were like my two favorite of all time. Oh, yeah. You got to watch out for that. Like if you have a muted mic or does the same thing for your camera too. which is, I guess, could be viewed as a good privacy thing, but at the same time, oof, it does suck. It can beat your head up against the wall when you first get into Windows 11. I think I did that in Windows 10. Back when I first started using O&O Shut Up, I always did like the most strict settings in it, and it would always disable your camera and mic. So that came back to bite me. I think on some of my first YouTube videos back in 2019, when I was doing some Windows stuff, and yeah, I remember there was a couple nights where I went to record and I forgot I was on Windows 10, and I ran O&O Shut Up, and I just sat there and recorded a whole video without any audio. Good times. Man, I wouldn't touch that. I just can't get behind single GPU pass-through. Just dual boot is what I think. Yeah, I'm reorganizing, Alan. The big thing with the community tab that I didn't like about that, Alan, was it was a little disjointed, and I couldn't really pin topics like you would do in a forum to kind of elevate guides, and then a lot of it was just questions. Some people would answer, some people wouldn't, and then it just kind of was just a mess. It was getting to be a mess, I should say. So I was like, that's not going to work, so I didn't like that structure. So right now I'm just kind of pulled back a little bit from it, and then I'm going to redo it a bit. So good question though, Alan. Yeah, I meant to tell people on that. I probably should do another video just kind of explaining that for the members over there. It's a really tricky thing to uninstall Edge, mainly because of how that installer works, and the fact that Microsoft just keeps patching and changing Chromium a bit, and the fact Edge just keeps reinstalling on every update. It's like a moving target. I could just spend hours every week working on that. So that's what's up. Debian OISO be paid or free? I think we'll see. I'm not sure yet on that. I think what we'll do is, at the very least, do like a giveaway with it. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'll at least I'll document everything, keep it all open source. It's just the ISOs hosting can get a little tricky. So we'll see what ends up with the actual ISOs. Again, I don't know. Haven't come that far. I want to make sure I get the ISO and everything works perfectly before we even get to that stage. Oh, Ralizek. Asking yeah, I love Planes of Power. I played a lot. I developed a lot of tools for a lot of MacroQuest users too. But yes, if it does go on, it'll be like $5. if it does go on to like the website, I never charge more than $5 for anything these days. I try to keep it at least minimal, and then do like a donation to Debian if we do charge. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I got most of those links on the last update I did, but yeah, link me any missing links. I still have my old website too that I can pull from if there's any missing pages. I think the only one I got was there was a wine-based page for Garmin users. That was a problem. Oh man, the map of OS. I remember seeing like my first sand giant back in 2000 when he came rolling through, and I was like, oh, I was in such awe. That was such a great game back in the day. I still love it, honestly, to this day, though. I still play live. I know nobody plays live, but I actually play live. I haven't finished the full config. Still getting there. We're getting down to the last week, though. I said everybody, I want to get it done before Christmas, and I will produce something before Christmas, and then we'll get into it. Maybe I'll release it on Christmas, but I'm going to have something for the Debian come Christmas time. Yeah, so I'm still working on the community tab there. I talked a little bit about that, but yeah. Ugh. Sand giants. And then going to farm giants and... Oh, what was it? It wasn't the over there. It was... Oh, man. I remember for... You camped there for the Journeyman boots. Can't remember the zone off the top of my head, but man, such good times. It's going to be script based with a custom ISO. So you could use Jimmy. I'll at least have a script so you could download the official SID based ISO from Debian and then run that script. Or you could do my own custom ISO that has like the packages built in. Both will be available. I want to keep everything open source on that front, Jimmy. All right, guys. I'm going to shut it down for the day. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. I know a little bit disjointed this stream, but we got there. I'm just a little bit under the weather. I know this past 3 or 4 streams has been a little rough, but I feel like Friday stream's just going to really do better. I think it's going to be an awesome stream, and we'll probably revisit Debian because we're still trying to get that out before Christmas. And I'll probably be doing 2 update videos, two videos coming your way in the next week or 2. The update on the Windows 11 debloat, and then also a update on Debian Titus towards Christmas. Around Christmas time is what we do. Yeah, I'll drink some hot fluids. I'll grab some tea and probably go take a nap or something. I'm just a little bit under it. So anyways, guys, thanks for coming out, and I'll see y'all Friday morning. The next one, 9 o'clock as the planned start time, unless something happens. But I don't think that. Drunk Titus stream, not at 9 in the morning. But I will, before I let everybody go, I will be doing some type of gaming live stream over on my gaming channel, which I probably will be streaming EverQuest or something like that. It's going to definitely be like super, super low key though. So I'm not going to tell very many people about it. But with that, guys, take it easy. See y'all in the next one.